Hi everyone, I'm Kent Louie, science teacher and talking head, talking about science education and broadcasting from beautiful Vancouver, Canada. This is episode 82. Compared to traditional grading, standards-based grading, or SBG, is a better way of assessing student learning. But doing SBG takes more time, especially at the beginning. For example, when I first started using SBG on my tests, I restructured my tests to have sections that corresponded to a specific standard I wanted to assess. So on this test, the first 6 questions assess something known as processing and analyzing. And the 7th question assess something known as evaluating, applying, and innovating. In this case, a student's ability to apply information. Now, when I mark this test, I'll mark all the questions from the first section and then come back to highlight the proficiency the student achieved. Now, this process, especially the highlighting process, is the most time-consuming part because I need to distinguish between different levels, which can be difficult, especially when students are in between. You know what I'm saying? Like, for example, when a student gets a lot of the easier questions wrong, but gets a few of the harder questions right, or vice versa. Like, in that case, which level of proficiency does this student fit in? So recently, a colleague showed me how they set up their marking rubric. And this small change has helped me determine a student's level of proficiency more efficiently, while also giving students a bit more information on where they stand. Now, I'll show you what I mean in a second, but before I continue, handouts for this episode are available at realsciencechallenge.com/EP82. And please subscribe to our YouTube channel. And please share our materials, our resources with your colleagues, especially if you like our materials. We just want to share, get the word out, and of course, we like some more subscribers. Hopefully we'll get 1,000 soon. Now here's the small change I made to my marking rubric or marking scale to help me mark more efficiently while providing more information to students. Here it is. Now, instead of highlighting a student's level of proficiency, I would check it off in the box provided. Now, this saves time and gives more detailed feedback because number 1, checking off stuff is faster than highlighting. And number 2, I can treat each box like a scale unto itself, and I can place a check closer to one end or the other or dead center. For example, if a student gets 2 out of 8 questions correct, and let's say those 2 questions were high-level questions, well, they may be considered maybe like lower developing over here, right? However, a student who gets 2 out of 8 questions right, and let's say those were very, very basic questions, well, they may be considered like high emerging, right? Thus, a student can see how close they are to reaching the next level, and perhaps what they need to do to reach the next level next time. Also, this change shows that for students, it's not how many questions a student gets right, but the type of questions they get right that determines their level of proficiency. So for example, let me show you another test. On this test, this student answered the questions fairly well, and they got low proficient. So they got most of the questions right, but a few of them, they had, lapses in how they explained their thinking. In this test, this student actually got high proficient. So they answered maybe the same number of questions correctly, but what they did was they explained it just a little bit better. And so they're considered high proficient, almost extending. Now, when I record this in my marks book, I enter just proficient. I don't, regardless of where I check it off in the box. So in other words, I don't enter like proficient minus or proficient plus. That would be too much work, and it would reduce the efficiency I've achieved. All right? One last thing I want to stress that's important for me to know exactly what emerging, developing, proficient, and extending looks like. It is only through knowing this that this rubric can be utilized quickly. If I don't know what a proficient looks like, then no scale can make me go faster. That's it for this episode. Please smash the like or subscribe button or leave a comment below. And handouts once again are at realsciencechallenge.com/EP82. Thanks for watching, and let's talk science education again soon.